My wife and I came up with this a few years ago that, this is a very high mileage car. It's been through the process of being 97% original. And you're thinking, how can a car that original have that many miles on it? It's all documented through NCRS. So we came up with saying that it's the most high mileage documented car, original car, that we know of. And so I try to go to every show, every event we can, just to find other owners that have high mileage cars. So far, it's what it is, and we're still sticking to that. And maybe we'd like to find someone that maybe has a more original car with more miles on it.
You're talking about just 67?
Just 67. There's a car today here. This is a 63 that's got 400,000 miles on it, and that's a lot of miles for these cars. Because in those days, you raced them, tore them up, or you put them away in your barn somewhere, and you don't find these cars with this kind of mileage on them. I'm Chris Henry, and I'm in Chickamauga, Georgia, and it's a 67 Corvette. It's got 243,000 documented miles on it. I bought it from a doctor's son. The doctor passed away, bought it new, used it as a commuter car from Sidell, Louisiana, over to Mobile, Alabama. And one day I backed my car in and I bumped it, and that top tire fell and hit the car and caused that large crack. I bought it in 2010 from the original owner's son, and at that time it had 222,000 miles on it. And so I put it through the NCRS process, and it went up to Bowtie, Canada, because it's a very original car. And since then I've put about 25,000 on it. I drove it over from Georgia here, and it's very enjoyable. It's a very just an old original car with a lot of miles. It hadn't been cleaned up, it hadn't been taken apart. The interior's like it was when it came from the factory, and it's just a lot of fun. And people enjoy it because it's not shiny and it's been redone. It's still the old car like it was. It represents the old car as they were back in 50 years ago. It's a 67 coupe. It's got the base 300 cubic inch automatic air car. I think because it was a 300 air automatic is why it was saved over the years. It's probably why the doctor bought it, because at that time it was a pretty nice car, and it wasn't a high performance car, so it didn't get torn apart in its early years. And it's just been fun. It's been fun driving around, and I'm going to continue driving around. With NCRS, I had to go originality, so I went toward the Bowtie route and not the Duntop route. So you have the second flight, then you top flight, and then you keep top flighting until you become a Bowtie candidate, and that's when the judges deem that it's maybe capable of winning some bow ties, some stars with the bow tie. And it went that far, and it's like the other cars across the way now. That's as far as it really can go, because it's too original, too old, and too many miles on it to go the other directions that they offer. But it's done what it can, and it did real well.
Has the engine ever been rebuilt with all those miles?
The engine was taken out and rebuilt 222,000 miles. But the rest of the car hadn't been taken apart. I left Chickamauga, Georgia, and I drove it here. It's 1,970 miles. It took me about 3 days and a few hours. I've driven it to Dayton, Ohio. I've driven it to Florida. I've driven it Hilton Head, Georgia, at least 7 or 8 times. So I've put quite a few miles on it myself, and it does good. It just, it does good. It's fun. It's just fun.
Does it still blow cold air?
It did up to about 4 years ago, and I gave up on it. It was a constant, every 2 months problem with that air conditioning. And a small note is that coming over here, I've got a temperature shooter that I shoot my tires with to check the air pressure with. The center console was running 135 degrees, so that's pretty warm for inside of a car. This car, you can take it anywhere, at any show, at any time, and it'll gather a crowd because it's authentic. It's a real car, and people like it.
It's almost a reaction to being around pristine cars that you kind of have a fear you might touch it.
Right, you get the ones, don't touch me, and the ropes around them, but this thing, the kids can come, they can sit in it, they can roll the windows down, and if a father comes with his 10 or 11-year-old son, I'll open the door and say, you want to get in, and shut the door behind him and let him drive and take a few pictures. And they really enjoy that. They really, you can go and sit in it. It doesn't bother me. This is the Drs Home inside L, and this is where the car lived for almost 45 years. And this is the car after I cleaned it up, brought it home. This was in 2010. That's a picture of it like it was when I got it running. And like I say, he kept everything he did to the car. He kept the little books on up, and you'll see every year 10,000 every year. It just goes through the years. It keeps going. And this is when he had a lot of work done at the Chevrolet dealer, and this is another garage, and it just keeps going, and the mileage just keeps going, and the repairs keep going, and until I purchased it from his son James in 210 with 227 on it, and since then I've just continued the same system. As every time you do anything to it, you just record it and put it in the book. So we're up to 243,000 miles now. So it's good.